Hi, everyone. Greetings from 2K Sports. Get ready for some NBA action. Alongside Doris Burke and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. And on the sidelines, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. And so off the tip, it's Albuquerque. Duncan outside. Back to Edwards for three. And that comes off the assist by Duncan.
Edwards, such an explosive scorer. You don't want to concede that three-point shot. Boy, that's going to make him feel good.
Gilmore. And he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
Well, known for being a terrific passer, he shows you right there. Case in point.
Duncan outside. Here's Edwards, driving the lane, and Edwards with the stuff.
Combination of size and athleticism makes Anthony Edwards so tough to check on the drive. Good luck and good night.
It's stolen by Duncan. About 1 minute into the first quarter. And the dunk by Duncan.
That's a double whammy, guys.
That's right. A great defensive play, then the emphatic stuff.
Let's see if that serves as a momentum builder. What a great sequence for this group.
And so here's Albuquerque, following the bucket by Baltimore. Here's Edwards. Good on the shot. Edwards got 7 points.
And that strength and concentration from Anthony Edwards. Yes, there's contact. Doesn't bother him.
Baltimore with the rebound.
Well, if the defense gives him that shot next time, they could get burned. I think he's just a little bit out of rhythm.
Over in the corner, Banchero. Back to Thompson. Down to 5 on the shot clock. 3-pointers to Jakovic. And Albuquerque with the possession. It's a 5-point game. From deep. And Duncan gets it to go in. Duncan's got his second bucket of the game to go.
It's rare that you see this from Duncan, so you know he had to really like the shot.
That's his first personal foul. First team foul.
1:37 left here in the first quarter. From deep, Gilgeous-Alexander. It's rebounded by Leonard.
I know he wants to answer the three that was just made on the other end, but he can't let that affect his judgment. He's got to find the best shot possible.
Now here's Leonard. And it's Leonard with the jam.
Yeah, they have gone full throttle from the opening tip, showing no signs of letting up.
Well, you set the tempo early, and when you get command and control of a game, it's perfect.
Baltimore trails by 10. Thompson for 3. Rebound by Paolo Banchero.
Boy, a wide open shot from his favorite spot. That is one he'd like to have back.
In the corner, George with it. Hits the 3-point bomb.
Building up a big early lead, they have taken charge of this game.
And they've been doing it largely at the offensive end. If the defense does not adjust, this could be a blowout.
Now, here's Banchero. Hasn't made one yet. 5 to shoot. And here's Gilgeous-Alexander outside. Nailed from 3-point land.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
Well, that 3-point shot just gives you so much room to operate on the offensive end.
2 points. That one goes.
They've been excellent so far, coming in with a well-balanced attack.
On the offensive end, it feels like they're getting the shots they want, and defensively, they are connected and on a string.
And so it's Albuquerque up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. Their defense has been And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for Albuquerque?
They've looked to fire as much as possible from outside the arc, and so far they are hitting at a high clip.
I think the other thing they've done a great job of is making their presence felt inside, converting tons of paint opportunities.
Back to Gilgeous-Alexander. To the inside. And it's Banchero missing.
Well, we love his ability to attack the rim. He just loses a little bit of focus and misses the chippy.
Out to Turner. And a miss there on the triple. Baltimore trails by 12. If you mention the best players in the NBA, Doris, you have to mention Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. How has he made the leap so fast?
Yeah, Kevin, this is an interesting growth and development story because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has shocked everybody. He can get to any spot on the floor. He's one of the most relentless drivers in the game. You have to respect his three-point threat, which balances out that dribble drive game, and he's willing to compete defensively. Sky is the limit for this young man.
The shot by Thompson, no good.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage.
Now that's called positioning, and Turner has the verticality to make it easy.
And they go to the intentional foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Left side, Gilgeous-Alexander. Baltimore moving that ball around. Hits it from three-point range. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 8.
Quick trigger there by SGA. I'll tell you, on the catch, be ready to rise and fire.
Here's Caruso. And it's blocked. And as it goes out of bounds, Albuquerque able to keep the ball here. Williams with a clean look. Good on the three-point shot. Williams has got himself on the board with 3 there. Pass to Gilmore. Poked away. Turner with the steal. Kicks it out to Granger. A minute 50 left to play here in the second quarter. 6 on the shot clock. Here's the 3. It's hauled in by Stojakovic.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Here's Thompson. And the foul called on Jalen Williams. That's foul number 2 for him.
Personal foul. Second team foul.
That'll be a 5-second call.
He got a little ahead of himself there trying to pull the team even.
That's a big miscue, and you hate to see that happen at this point in the game.
We've got 1:28 left in the first half. Caruso with the ball. To the middle. Here's Turner. Shoots over Gilgeous-Alexander. And he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim. Turner's got 4 points this quarter. And it's Gilgeous-Alexander in the corner. And here we go, Albuquerque, fast break. Caruso with the ball. Picked up by Banchero. Outside Turner. Stolen by Stojakovic. Thompson looking for an opening. Three-pointer. Again, the miss by Baltimore. Albuquerque leading by 13. .30 seconds left now here in the second. And here we go with Thompson running it up the court.
He's got rocket ship-like takeoff. Thompson can flat out fly.
17 seconds left here in the second. There's Williams with the 3. Traps in the tray. Williams has got 6 points.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
Granger inside the line. And so it's Albuquerque. Their lead at 11 points to end the quarter. Their shooting has been the big key. Their percentage from the field so far has been terrific. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. And with the big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. And so it's Haliburton who brings up the ball for Baltimore. They trail by 11. And finished off by Haliburton.
Tyrese Haliburton saying, I'm not just a pure shooter, folks. I've got a little ups in my game.
And Tyrese Haliburton, one of the best offensive players in the league, Doris. He's so fun to watch.
Kev, this young man is special, and not only because of the flair and the skill as a passer, the shot-making ability. To me, it's the joy he brings to the game and how that joy lifts his teammates around him.
Off and running right off the bat here to start the second half.
Duncan, a screen. Six to shoot. Banchero. He gets that one. Banchero's got his first basket.
And the paint is where you love to watch Banchero work. With his size and athleticism, he can attack so effectively inside.
Here's Worthy. Makes it off the glass.
Aggressive move coming out of the half, penetrating into the heart of the defense.
And I've got to believe that was something they talked about during the break. Get him some good looks into the paint, get into the heart of the defense. Beautiful. This guy reads situations so well, and he knows how to execute.
Banchero outside. Screen by Duncan. Puts up a deep three. The offensive rebound. Pass to George. Back to Leonard. There's the triple. Drains it. Kawhi. Kaboom.
Just another place you have to take Leonard seriously. He's so capable from the outside.
Well, if you offer no resistance defensively, he's going to knock down the three. It's really that simple, guys.
And the foul goes on Roy Hibbert. That is his first foul of the game.
That's his first personal foul. First team foul.
And Albuquerque with the possession. They're on a 13-5 run. Here's Banchero. And again, it's Albuquerque.
Oh, good to see that Banchero has options if he can't penetrate. Your game has to be multifaceted in the league.
Baltimore trails by 19. Down low. And then Hibbert with the dunk.
And really just unselfish basketball on the interior. That's the kind of pass a coach loves to see.
Duncan in the corner. Outside Leonard. From the arc. And again Albuquerque with the triple.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? If you space the floor well enough, it's almost impossible for the defense to account for everyone.
Outside Edwards. Reed with the steal. And it's Baltimore on the break. And a wide open look for Haliburton. Sinks the triple.
3 points.
Haliburton's got 5.
We know Tyrese Haliburton came into the league as a 40% career three-point shooter. Don't leave him that wide open, folks.
Here's George. And George with the stuff.
Making the most of the screen. That's how it's done.
And it's in the perfect spot. Greg frees him up to get all the way to the bucket.
Where was the defense? No fighting through the pick, no rotation. My goodness.
Substitution on the court.
Here's Halliburton. He's got 5. Caruso with the steal. Outside Turner. Pass to Williams. Back to Turner. Caruso with the ball. Covered by Miller. Halliburton with the steal. And so it's Albuquerque with a 19-point advantage heading into the next quarter. And they've created a bunch of turnovers with that terrific D. Back right after this. And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. Now Caruso. Pass to Granger. It's Turner, high post. Back to Granger. Shot clock at 6. Launches it. Drills it from outside. Granger's got his first 3 points of the game.
Yeah, you have to make greater effort than that defensively. You know what he can do from range.
Well, to me, that's just inexcusable. You start to wonder how much they really want this basketball game.
Williams' shot is off.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
And now here comes Williams leading the break. Nobody near Granger. Hits the 3 from the wing. Granger's got a pair of threes here in the 4th quarter for Albuquerque. And taking a quick look here, guys, at the hustle stats for Albuquerque.
All game long, they've had active hands and really out in the passing lanes. And that aggression on defense has resulted in a ton of steals.
Another thing I thought they did well was pressure. They forced a ton of turnovers, turned those opportunities into points.
And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time.
And to make that mistake at this time is tough to come back from.
These are the kinds of plays that can be game changers, that can make you hang your head.
Granger with the bucket.
Just a humongous 4th quarter for him, especially from long range. Just in a groove now, and that tray has been deadly.
Boy, that SGA dunk was right out of the highlight reel. Woo!
Pass to Turner.
2 minutes remaining in this ball.
Baltimore with the rebound. On the wing, Thompson. Rebound by Williams.
Boy, if you're going up against this guy in this close a range, you've got to defend with everything you've got. A tremendous job defensively.
And this is the game plan for him. He's a big part of their floor spacing.
And right now, Greg, he is doing a great job delivering for this team, productive and efficient.
The shot by Thompson, no good.
And when you are as good a shooter as he is, you have to have the confidence to take that shot. It might not always fall.
And for most guys, I think you only want to take that shot if you've hit a few in a row. That is absolutely a heat check.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the 3. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Williams for 3.
And even against defense as tight as that, you almost expect him to still bury those.
And the foul on Miles Turner. That is his first foul of the game. Some changes for Albuquerque. And here's Gilgeous-Alexander outside. Outside Edwards. The 3-pointer, no good. Thompson for the triple. Again, the miss by Baltimore.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down, try to get some easy ones.
And there's the call on Amen Thompson. That is his first foul of the game.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Stolen by Stojakovic.
And before he had time to bring the ball back in off the pump fake, out, and they're off.
got that one up quick.
Well, Anthony Edwards came into the league with a reputation as a scorer. He is starting to hum a little bit right here.
Gets the three-pointer to fall.
And guys getting into a nice groove here, starting to feel it.
And this is partly what the game has become, right? A matter of dueling three-point opportunities.
Nice tip in there. I mean, he's got like a sixth sense in terms of where the miss is going to go. That is really a talent.
And it's Gilgeous-Alexander missing. Here's Ben Carroll. Can't connect. And so Albuquerque takes the win. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what...